Hey y'all. Today I am working on finding some urban legends to post in time for Halloween, and this is my research process. I do have to get up a few times to run laundry, and please ignore all the mess behind me. I'm in the process of trying to fix up my office space, and it's a process. I have more stuff than I have room, and I also have animals, so please ignore any meows and things that you may hear from critters. But, urban legends. What are some fun urban legends that we can look at? Let's start with North Carolina. North Carolina urban legends. Oh, only in your state. Very first thing, these 10 chilling urban legends in North Carolina. Alright, let's see if any of them sound good. I don't really know how much research I'm going to do and stuff on urban legends because I feel like every town, just general area and state has the same ones. I mean, shit, Wilmington has a freaking woman in white. Like, everybody has that. We all have a headless dude walking around trying to, prevent people from dying or whatnot. Everybody's had some version of the Hook Man. So, pretty certain I even saw one earlier today on basically like a Bloody Mary type. So, I don't know how in depth on the research I'll go. I might just post the stories for funsies. We'll see. I'm also bummed out from my last one being so easily debunked because I went back and looked at my research again. So fucking obvious. But let's see. Haunting of Capitol building. That's not really an urban legend. Normie. We've already discussed it. Beast of Bladenboro. That one's actually going to be coming up on my list with Chupacabra in Southport. Yeah. It's fun. Round Mountain, nope. Tramping Ground, which I'm angry at. Ooh. Gravity Hill. I feel like everybody has this one too. But I'm going to mark it because, again, what area doesn't have some kind of school bus gets hit and all the kids die? So, if you park your car, the little hands are going to push you out the way. I don't even know where that got started, but it's really fucking depressing. But we all have. Okay, so Gravity Hill. Which, have you ever been? I think it's in Tweetsie Railroad where they've got one of the, mystery spots where. Hey, Hickey, where you feel like you're walking like this, or no, you feel like you're walking like this, but you're really walking like this. I remember going as a kid. So Gravity Hills. Hiccup just woke up from her nap. Road. Okay, so this is a mother and child. So say ghost hands on cars. I always love these because they're optical illusions, but they're cool and they usually have some interesting backstory. A dream leading to an execution. Oh, that's just more like a death premonition on that one. Huh. So this is okay, so I did the Mako Station Light reading on the blog. This is in Greensville. And it involves train tracks. Let's see. Somebody dying on the train tracks. And source took off. Apparently he still haunts in the form of a glowing orb light. I may just save this one for later, just because it correlates with Mako, but in a different way. But since I just did Mako not too long ago, I don't want to do it. Similar thing. But this is the fun thing about even this aspect. I get ideas for future posts. Similar to Helens Bridge. Ooh. Helens Bridge sounds interesting. I don't have this one on here, do I? I do like to flip back and forth to my list of things that I want to post about. I have a lot of fucking bridges. Ooh, this has like monsters. Okay, we're gonna put Helens Bridge on here. And that is in Asheville, which is getting to be in its really pretty time this time of year. Alright, so story is a young mother hung herself after her daughter died in a fire. So very much a woman in white kind of thing, which is cool. Just write that down. And it's supposedly people have car trouble. People who have experienced Helens Bridge have found looming car trouble to find them soon after their visit. Not just Helen, but strange and dark apparitions sighted around the area. Well, that's neat. Oh, Baltimore estate being Biltmore, not Baltimore. What the fuck? Biltmore being haunted, but did nothing new. You ever get a really sweet message and it just puts a smile on your face? I hate using keyboards for things I normally do on my phone because then I can never remember what keys I gotta hit. Back to research. ncdcr.gov. Department of what? Department of Natural and Cultural Resources. Ooh. I've never been on this site. I always like things that come from, like, well-known sources. In this case, it being a government site is always kind of cool. Alright, let's see. Well, see, this one's neat. Devil's Tramping Ground is the one that pissed me off so much. And it's in Chatham County. And here is a report from 1884 February where a lady thought she heard heavy rain, but it turned out that it was a shower of pure blood. Samples were taken by a UNC chemist. How long has UNC been around? Which confirmed it was blood, but he was unable to offer a scientific explanation for the phenomenon. It sounds like she got carried. I'm sorry. There's the wreck of the Carol Deering. Round Mountain Lights, which I'm going to be doing later on. I actually got some cool information on that. That relates back to the tribe that I mentioned for Normie. Disappearance of Nell Cropsey. That was more true crime. I don't really want to do. I like creepy, spooky, weird. Not somebody got hacked and sliced and it's, you know, they just couldn't find the proof to pin it on the boyfriend. Let's see, Make a Light, again, talked about. Devil's Tramping Ground, again, talked about. We'll be talking about Ghost Train and Boston Bridge. Already planning on talking about that. Lost Colony. One day, I'm going to go on the record as to why I hate everything about the Lost Colony. Because it's not fucking lost. They didn't look. If they looked, they would have found them very fucking easily. People are dumb. Even way back when. Seriously, how are you not even going to go fucking talk to the tribe that they literally scribbled the name of? Oh, the #1 creepiest urban legend in North Carolina. Are we about to be disappointed? Beast of Bladensboro. I'm a little disappointed. Alright, let's move away from North Carolina. Let us I'm thinking. Do I want to stick with Southern? Do I want to stick with East Coast? Or do I want to go all? And when I say all, I mean the United States. I love all my international friends, but we got a lot of spookies here. United States. I'll just go big and broad for the legends. The creepiest urban legend from every state via Insider Magazine. What's nice about this is I do have books on legends and lore. Like, I mean, I have books on everything, but I've got like Haunted Heartland, Spooky South, Haunted North Carolina, Haunted Wilmington and Cape Fear Coast. I'm trying to think. I think I just have like a Haunted America one. And so I've got a lot of books. Plus, two, I do have one that it's legends and mythology from various cultures around the world, and it does include Native American. So there's that I can pull some from. But it's nice whenever I do find something either online or I'm told about something, and then I can do just a little bit of like pre-bed reading, you know, holding a book. Especially too, because in some cases they're more story format, so I'm not just reading someone like me posting something, you know. I'm reading not even a first. I'm reading a story. It gives me information though. Alright, so Alabama has Hell's Gates Bridge, which is very similar to this Gravity Hill in North Carolina. Alaska, you have the Alaskan Triangle, which is apparently the Alaskan version of the Bermuda Triangle. Arizona, the ghost of Slaughterhouse Canyon. Arkansas is the Boggy Creek Monster. That sounds fun. Oh, he's like a Sasquatch. Okay. I wasn't really quite sure what to expect with something being from a creek, but again, everybody even has some kind of version of Bigfoot. So, ooh, California, the Charman. Yeah. Okay. This one sounds interesting. The Charman's origin story is gruesome. A father and son were both caught in a fire and burned horribly in 1948. After the fire, the son became so mentally unstable that he killed his father. And when they found the son, he was so unrecognizably burnt, they didn't realize he was alive, and he ran away before they were able to arrest him for the murder of his father. And the story goes, this is where it kind of goes urban legend, which takes it away from, true crime, basically. The story goes ever since then, he can be spotted wandering in the woods surrounding the city I cannot pronounce, Hoja? Occasionally approaching campers or pretending to be a hitchhiker and then attempting to attack them. This has a secondary link that I want to look at. Alright. Maybe going with this. Charman. Anybody else thinking of Pokemon? Of place in California I cannot pronounce. Guys, I can't read for shit out loud. I can't pronounce things for shit. There's a lot of words my mouth will not wrap around. I try so hard. Seriously, don't ask me what the EMTs drive, because I can't pronounce that word very well. This is what happens when you grow up in North Carolina. Alright. Colorado. The Many Legends of Riverdale Road. Ooh, this one has 8 creepy stories, ranging from a Hell's Gate to ghosts of slaves hanging from the trees. Ooh. Sorry. Just, your life was bad enough as a slave. Your afterlife should not consist of you being a ghost hanging from a tree. Alright, there's a phantom jogger. Interesting. Alright, so Riverdale Road. And specifically, phantom jogger. Alright, my washer just beeped, so I'm gonna take a break, go do laundry, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Got my laundry tackled. Just random. If you saw I made a weird face at the end of the last video, that is because I had a notification pop up on my phone, but I didn't realize it was a notification, and I just saw something out the corner of my eye while I was writing, and it confused the fuck out of me. It happens. Alright, so where were we? We're looking at urban legends in the US. The top one for each. Alright, so Connecticut is Hannah. Is her last name really Cranna? Known as the Wicked Witch of Monroe. Well, yeah, if my name was Hannah Cranna, I'd be a Wicked Witch too. I mean, it's Susu McGrew all over again. And if you get that reference, I love you. Alright, she apparently would cast spells on people she didn't like, and bewitched her husband to jump off a cliff. Well, maybe he was a dick. But, alright, that's just a witch. Delaware is the ghost of Mr. Chew. This one's interesting. He was the Chief of Justice of the Delaware Supreme Court in 1741, and he got picked on a lot because of his name being Samuel Chew. People would mimic sneezes when they walked by, or when he walked by, and after he died, people reported seeing his ghost. Me. Would also pull on men's coattails and give women a cold, icy feeling. Dude, don't be a creeper after you die. Florida. What does Florida man have for us? Alright, the gravity-defying Spook Hill. Ages ago, an Indian town on Lake Wales Lake was plagued with raids by a huge alligator. The town's great warrior chief and gator were killed in a final battle that created the huge swampy depression nearby. The chief was buried on its north side. Later, pioneer haulers coming from the old army trail atop the ridge above found their horses laboring there. At the foot of the ridge, this doesn't read right. This, or is not reading right in my brain. Okay, my brain wasn't reading that right. Found their horses at the foot of the ridge and called it Spook Hill. Okay. See that? The initial thing with it being horses can just walk uphill, right? So this is another cars that are parked in neutral will roll uphill. That's 3 we found. Should we maybe do one that's... I mean, it's still an optical illusion thing. So maybe we should do one that's just like all ghost push cars uphill kind of thing. But it's just almost always an optical illusion. So... Georgia, the ghost town of Lake Lanier. Oh, so this is what I wanted from Lake Norman. I got really sad that there was no, like, spooky swim spots at Lake Norman because it's a man-made lake and they flooded towns and cemeteries and shit, right? So Lake Lanier, at the bottom of Lake Lanier lies almost fully intact towns, ferries, a racetrack, and multiple cemeteries. The Georgia government, in its determination to create Lake Lanier, bought up entire towns in order to clear the space after they received congressional approval in 1946. So around the same time as Lake Norman, too. That's funny. But with Lake Norman, where they actually did bulldoze a lot of the stuff, here they just flooded the towns. Now, Lake Lanier has a decidedly eerie feel about it. There have been an unusual number of freak accidents and death on the lake. In 2011, or 2011, however you say it, there were 17 deaths alone. Can people not fucking swim? I know some people can't swim. Don't go in water if you can't swim. At least not alone. Many of the people who drowned have been recovered. So many of the bodies, we should say, have been recovered. People have reported feeling arms and legs in the water, but not being able to find them. Alright. This one, I'm not necessarily going to put as an urban legend, but I want to put it down for later on. Like, Lanier. I cannot spell. Georgia. Haunted Lake. Similar background to Hawaii has the Night Marchers. They are not evil spirits, but they do demand respect. I can get behind that. Bazu, is this the best time for you to be playing with your little ball toy, honey? I apologize if Basil makes noise. He wishes to play. Legend says that if you look directly at a night marcher, you'll be marked for death, and if by some chance you find yourself in the middle of a procession, you're supposed to lay down in the middle of the road. And they are spirits of ancient Hawaiian warriors who march around the islands to protect sacred spaces. Ooh, that's neat. A lot of these I want to come back to. Like, in the future. I'm going to have to bookmark this whole doodad. Let's see. Water babies in Idaho, which are a Native American legend, found in a couple of places in North America, but most famously at a place I can't pronounce, in Massacre Rock State Park. Yep, nope, I pronounced it right. I was really hoping maybe I just somehow misread it. Why would you call something a state park, nonetheless? That one's dark. So, in this instance, it's almost the kind of opposite of A Woman in White, where, you know, like La Llorona, drowning your kids, killing yourself, and then haunting. This one, the Native American women were forced to drown their babies in the river rather than watch their children starve. And so now people claim you will hear the sound of babies crying, and other stories say these babies grew gills and fins and survived, and now they seek revenge on their mothers by luring unsuspecting victims to their deaths in the river. That's dark and creepy. Like, I feel like Ghost Baby trumps a lot. I want more information on that. That might be too dark, though, even for Halloween. We'll write it down, though. Well, now I know why it's called Massacre Rocks. That makes sense. Alright. Should we do creepy clowns? Illinois has Homie the Clown. Alright, we actually may do this one. This one, creepy clowns are always good, right? So Homie the Clown was from In Living Color, but there was a man who was dressed as him, and he would drive around in a van trying to lure kids with candy and money. In some variations, he was a kidnapper, and others, he was a rapist, but in all variations, he left a mark on young Chicago kids in the 90s. Well, fuck yeah. I'd be terrified of that, too. I didn't like it when the creepy clown started running around in, 2016. Was that when it happened? I don't know. Before the pandemic. Illinois. Chicago? Tell me the clown. Indiana has the 100 Steps Cemetery in the town of Brazil. The gravestones date back to the 1860s, and apparently if you are in the cemetery at midnight, you must climb the steps and count to 100, and the ghost of an undertaker will appear to show the person a vision of their death. I'm going to let Hickey or Toothbrush finish her business. Okay. So, if they find themselves in the cemetery at midnight, they must climb the steps and count to 100. A ghost of an undertaker will appear and show the person a vision of their death. On the way back down, the visitor is supposed to count the steps again, and if they count the same amount of steps, the vision was false. People who have visited the cemetery in the past have tried to outsmart the supernatural forces in 100 steps by avoiding steps altogether. I guess it's actually like a flight of steps. They've been reportedly knocked down or shoved to the ground by an unseen force. That's neat. I like that. All right. 100 steps. Cemetery, Brazil, Indiana. Toothless is giving herself a bath behind me, so. Iowa is just a angel in a cemetery statue. Kansas, the Devil's Chair. It's just more of another ghost story. What I like about the 100 Steps one is it's kind of that Bloody Mary kind of thing of you've got to perform certain actions at a certain time of day to get the results you want. Ooh, Kentucky, the Goat Man of Pope Lock. Lick. I can't read. I got excited. So, the Goat Man of Pope Lick. I got family in Kentucky, so. There's no clear consensus on how the Goat Man came to be. Some say he was a circus performer, others say he was a farmer who tortured his goats for Satan. Why? Like, don't reports indicate that Satan likes goats? Why would you torture? Why would he want to be tortured? Alright, and in return was transformed into a hideous ghost monster, so Satan got his revenge. Everyone does agree on his appearance: dark fur, pale skin, goat legs, and horns. Ooh, this is in Louisville. I'm trying to think of where I have family at, and I got them in Lexington. I can't remember where people live. Alrighty. Interesting. Said that he hides under the bridge at Pope Lick Creek in Louisville to lure people onto the train tracks, only to see them be hit by oncoming trains. Rude. And unfortunately, some people will die the stupid death, where they might fall off the bridge looking for him, as opposed to being lured. So, I may have to ask D what he knows about this. All right. Louisiana, the Grunch. Another goat person. It's an old dirt road. Crunch Road is an old dirt road. Leads deep into the woods and dead ends. It was a favorite place for teenagers to be teenagers until they learned about him, and the Grunch is rumored to be a group of... Oh, this is a group. So this is more than one. Of deformed half-human, half-monsters that resulted from years of isolation in the Louisiana bayous. If you find yourself there, don't get out of your car if you see a goat who looks injured. The stories say that the Grunch used goats to lure people. Oh, so they're not goat people, they just use goats. Creepy. This is a random fun fact. I almost lived in Louisiana. My dad was offered a job when I was little, and didn't work out. But had he taken it, then I would have been a Louisiana kid. For Maine, it is a mysterious stain on a tomb, but it says, people have tried to get rid of this stain twice, but it keeps reappearing. Shouldn't you try more than twice? Maryland, Chessie, the Chesapeake Bay monster. We are not good at naming lake monsters, are we, people? We have Champy, Nessie, Chessie, Normie, like... Just add an IE or a Y on the end and like shorten up the name and... Massachusetts has one that sounds interesting, but just a standard issue ghost story. Ooh. Michigan, the little girl on Knock Knock Road. Detroit area, and she will knock on your window trying to find out who killed her. Interesting, but wonder, and this is what part of the fun research process is, should I maybe pick like one or two stories that fit the basic urban legend that we all kind of, like I said, we all have some version of a Bloody Mary kind of thing, or Woman in White, or, you know, the little ghost hands on your car. Should I maybe do something like that and then just link a bunch of stories to it? Like, here's your basic urban legend of this. But if you want something on your local level, here's where you can go. Does that sound fun? Huh. I may have to throw this one out to the Twitterverse and ask y'all there what you think, because I am seeing, repeats, but that's good, because, I mean, that's just how urban legends are. We all have those repeating stories. So, maybe that's what we do. I'm going to keep scrolling, though, because it's fun. And I still have time on my laundry. Before I have to, once again, hike down for my second trip. I'll still have at least one more after. If anybody would like to buy me a dryer. Alright. Ooh, this one is actually something that I had somebody, I know exactly who it was. They know I have a thing for Norse mythology. And this is, they had asked me to do something on Norse, but because I wanted to keep it to the US, I did want to find things that were Norse related and in the States. And so this is one that I'm going to want to come back to for him. But yeah, this is in Minnesota. And it is a runestone with it's a runestone, with runes. Trying to figure out where it came from. Apparently, official historians have said that the Vikings never made it to North America before Columbus did. But if that's the case, where did that come from? So that'll be fun, but that'll be for later. I do love my Norse mythology. Mississippi, Deer Island's haunted treasure. Ooh, pirates. Y'all know I love pirates. The story says, back in the 1920s, two men were fishing on Deer Island when they heard a rustling in the bushes, a noise they assumed to be caused by wild hogs. Eventually, they decided to check it out and encountered a headless skeleton. They ran back to their boat, and the skeleton followed them all the way there. According to the pirate story, there was a ship that sailed into this area and buried their treasure on Deer Island. The crew decided to behead one of their own and leave his body behind to guard their treasure. But if they weren't looking for the treasure, why did the skeleton chase them? Man, you ain't coming on my doorstep. I ain't gonna worry about you until you knock on my door. That's neat. Momo the Missouri Monster. Well, that is a tongue tangler if I ever heard one, and then he's a Bigfoot. He's more like a skunk ape with a bad body odor and a pumpkin-shaped head. Apparently, he likes to eat dogs. Rude. In 1968, he reportedly tried to kidnap a 4-year-old boy, but no evidence was ever found. Do I want to read the story of Sacrifice Cliff? This is going to be the water babies at Massacre Rocks. It's another Native American one. 2 members of the Crow tribe arrived in their village from a trip to find almost everyone there had been infected with smallpox and died. So heartbroken about their loss of their loved ones, the 2 decided to blindfold their horses and ride to join the tribe on the other side. this is one I'm going to want to research later. And this is Nebraska's Centennial Hall. That's in the 1940s. It was used as a high school, and there was a student playing her clarinet, and she suffered from a heart attack and died because her reed was poisoned. As a band geek, that is gnarly. And I'm suddenly so very glad that the woodwind I played did not have a reed. I played the flute. Alright. So now people claim to feel cold spots and hear disembodied music and have witnessed an empty rocking chair starting to rock a bowl. Man, to be stuck forever in high school. Nevada, 51. We're not going Roswell. New Hampshire, the Witch of Hampton Goody Cole. Her name was Eunice. Of course she was going to be a witch. She was tried multiple times for witchcraft. Spooky witch ghost. New Jersey, of course, Jersey Devil. New Mexico is the evil hour. La Mala Hora. It's an entity that you don't want to run into on a dark road. It first appears as a ball of black energy, constantly moving and changing its size and shape, and if you look at it, it will drive you insane and slowly kill you. At other times it appears as a scary looking woman, and it says if you see her at a crossroads, you or someone in your family will die. That's a good side of the road one. The evil hour. I wish it said on here where in New Mexico. Oh, and it's actually the legend originated in Mexico, so she migrated. Oh, don't you hate it when you click on a link and it doesn't take you to what you want? Like, it doesn't take you to anything new. New York is Cropsey. Story of a man who stalked a sleepaway camp / psychiatric facility / children's hospital, had a hook for a hand. Oh, yes. So, we are going... I think I actually watched the documentary on this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. But, I mean, Hookman, hello, that is 1000% standard issue urban legend right there. North Carolina, Beast of Glenboro. We've already had that conversation. North Dakota, Lady in White. So, White Lady Lane is a tragic story. Legend states the young woman became pregnant out of wedlock, and her religious family forced her to marry the father. The baby ended up dying after their wedding. She was so upset about her baby and her forced marriage, she hung herself from a bridge in her wedding dress. And people say you can still see her, so... Ohio, the Werewolf of Defiance. Interesting. This was just the summer of 1972. animal was said to be huge, hairy, and dressed in rags, so it could have just been a weirdo in a suit. It hasn't been seen since. Oklahoma, the mysterious shaman portal. It's also known as Oklahoma's Bermuda Triangle. Mysterious things have happened in the park, starting with the Spanish conquistadors who went missing searching for gold in the 1500s. Since then, paranormal activity seekers flocked to the dunes. Some claim a UFO crashed there, and a group in the 90s who tested the soil said it was abnormal. I guess technically mystery spots, so right. Mystery spots. We had the one for Alaska Triangle. And then here we've got Shaman's Portal / It's definitely such like Oklahoma Triangle. It's Oklahoma Bermuda Triangle. Alright. Oregon, the Bandaged Man of Canyon Beach. It's the American version of a mummy. He knocks on car windows and tries to get in, and he smells really bad. Ooh, Pennsylvania, the bus to nowhere. And then the subheading, the story of this bus is quite sad. This is in Philly. Story says the bus only picks up passengers that are in their lowest moments who need to get away from their problems. Once the passenger is ready to face the world, they can get off the bus. But the passenger has no idea how long they'll be on the bus for. Yes, please. What is it Wheeler Yuta said? Bad stuff happens in Philly. Alright. Bus to nowhere. Rhode Island, the Devil's Footprints. I'm squinting because I don't. No. So, South Carolina, this one, the death of Julia Laguerre. Well-to-do South Carolina family, and their daughter got sick, was pronounced dead, was buried, and apparently years later, another family member died, and when their tomb was opened up, the remains of Julia were found inside. She was buried inside the mausoleum, not like in a normal grave. The remains of Julia were found outside of her coffin. The story says that Julia had been in a coma, had woken up, tried to escape her tomb, but sadly died. And now they can't keep the door shut. If you're familiar with Wilmington, North Carolina, and our ghost stories, we also too have one where it was two friends, and one got knocked off a horse, hit his head real bad, buried, and then his buddy kept seeing his ghost, and then when they dug him up, he was flipped over, and he, scratched and everything, and was buried alive, and so, I wonder how many people have been buried alive, in this sense of you know, thought they were dead. So, South Carolina. I think I may go with the urban legends and hear sort of the big stories. Sorry, I gotta respond to a message real fast. Where was I? So yeah, I think I may actually do the whole urban legends. Let's actually see where things are. Okay, so we're still at urban legends as being the thing that everybody wants to roll with. Cool, 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 cool. So, ooh. Walking Sam in the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation of South Dakota sounds kind of like the Tall Man, or Slender Man. It's over 7 feet tall and very slim. So, is Slender Man just like an internet thing that kind of came about? Because I feel like I never heard of him before the internet, but to be fair, a lot of my stuff was local before then. So, yeah, I'm rambling, but I just want to know. This is alright. I think my laundry is about to be done. Let me see. Hang on. Okay, I got like 5 minutes. Alright, so Tennessee has Spooky Ghost Kid, which we had another one of. Spooky Ghost Kid in school. So, Spooky Ghost Kids at schools. Oh shit, I had to scroll back up to. Alright. Centennial Hall was Nebraska. And now this was Tennessee. And this is Pine Haven. And Jamestown, Tennessee. Texas, the Candy Lady. Alright, so we have another one that kind of goes with the creepy clown dude. But this was in the early 1900s. Children in an unnamed rural town in Texas. Y'all, I'm going to a rural town in Texas in a month. And I like candy. Am I going to get stolen? Alright, so children in an unnamed rural town in Texas started going missing, and residents blamed it on the candy lady. She would leave candy on children's windows, and eventually she would lure the kids out with notes attached promising more candy. A farmer allegedly found rotten teeth on his farm and later found a body of a boy with his pockets stuffed full of candy. I wonder if people found or if the farmer found. Doesn't say, but well known is known about the origin of the story, but some have speculated the candy lady was real and her name was Clara Crane. So we're gonna do, come up here, because again I got the Homie the Clown one. So this is Texas Candy Lady, and this is just gonna be strangers with candy. See, this is really how, urban legends start, even if they're not necessarily true. So you have an unnamed town, okay, that could be in Texas is fucking huge. It could be anywhere. But that's how you get these things kind of started. I always wonder the whole drugs in your Halloween candy thing. Drugs are expensive. We all know this. Why would anybody put drugs in candy and then give it away for free? I spent good money on that. It's either going in me or you're paying me. Oh, I read about this one, the Petrified Forest. What did I read that for? I read it for something. But, because this one's interesting. It's illegal to take anything from this Petrified Forest State Park. But the legend is if you take a piece of petrified wood from it, you'll be cursed with bad luck. And they get dozens of packages a year containing the piece of wood with letters of apology for people who have done this. But they can't put the wood back into the forest. I'm trying to remember. Oh God, I read this so long ago. Well, so long ago. Not that long ago. But it was interesting because they can't do anything. So they basically have a museum of petrified wood that people have returned because they can't put it back out there. Don't steal things from places you're not supposed to. You deserve bad luck. This one's fun. Hibernating old people recounts of a tale of poor family in Vermont. Couldn't afford to feed and clothe the oldest members of their family, so they froze the people and buried them. According to legend, when spring rolled around, the elders thawed out and were just fine. And in Virginia, the Bunny Man starts with a mental institution. Alright. Apparently, he was being transported from one location to another. The bus he was on crashed, and the police were able to catch all the patients except for one, the Bunny Man. According to the tale, the Bunny Man lives in the woods and sustained himself on woodland creatures like bunnies, but eventually he attacked humans. Some people report being attacked by a man with a hatchet. And then others say groups of teens would see a bright light and then would wind up dead, strung up over a bridge. How do you know they saw a bright light? These are things I never understand whenever you see a story or something where it's nobody escaped. Who the fuck told the story? How do you know what they saw? However, Clifton, Virginia. Bunny Man. I like that. Bunny Man. Washington's Bigfoot. West Virginia is the Mothman. Should I do, like, just, if I'm doing urban legends, should I do all the hot spots for Bigfoot and Sasquatch? Maybe? Because I feel like every state has a Bigfoot. West Virginia is, of course, the Mothman. Wisconsin is Boy Scout Lane. Ghost kids. You know how it is. Kids died on a bus. This time, though, instead of pushing people out of the way, my laundry's done. It's they see bodies swinging from the trees. Again, not a way to spend your afterlife. Alright, I gotta stop. I gotta go run back down to the laundromat and swap everything out. But I'll be back soon. Okay, I just got back from running to the laundry again. But what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to have time to record the rest of this, but you can kind of see what my research process is with this. I'm going to go with the route of looking up, I'm out of breath. I had to walk a really long way and up a lot of stairs carrying laundry. But I'm going to go with the idea of your basic urban legend that we know about, and then from there, different places around the country that have some version of that. I'm not going to necessarily hit one for each state, as far as I'm not going to have necessarily 50 stories, because I kind of just want to link back to them all. So my next step in the process is going to be researching what are basic urban legends that we want, like, their story behind them. So far I've got strangers handing out candy to kids. I've got woman in white. I've got, you know, half human, half animal people. The optical illusion places with the deaths and the little handprints on the car that push your car uphill even though you're actually going downhill. The buried alive stories. Those are so terrifying. Spooky ghost kids at schools and former schools. Bigfoot. Hookman. So I'm going to try and see what I can do for that. We're going to see. It's going to be fun. I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to record any of the rest of the research process. I got to do errands tomorrow. My next day alone that I can film is Sunday. Today's Thursday, so we shall see. Depends on what all I have to do on Sunday, because that's also usually my gaming / catch up on chores, which I gotta get started on. Sean's going home early, and I ain't cleaned shit today other than the laundry. Oh wait, I did run the dishwasher. Now I'm rambling, but this is how the brain of the lily works. So yeah, if I have the opportunity to film more, I will, and I will post it with this. But for now, I think, yeah, the way I really want to go, especially to get it out in time for Halloween, if I'm going to have to be doing basically a bunch of mini stories. Because y'all know I like to find all the little nitty gritties. But, alright. I'm going to quit rambling. And I am... yeah. Gonna quit rambling, go do more chores. And hopefully I'll get a chance to record more of the process. If not, then y'all just see it when it drops. But this has been Researching with Lily today. Getting ready for Halloween and spooky season. I'll talk to y'all later.